What is good? We are back again with another trade recap today. Let's get right into it. Today, let me get rid of some of this stuff real quick so I don't confuse anyone. Today I made $181. Just show this real quick. $916 on the week. The reason that I made $180 today is because I technically got broke even, but I put my stop loss in profit to get me a winning day. And the reason I did that is so now my account is now eligible to take a payout. Look, isn't that pretty? Request payout. Oh. But we're not going to be taking a payout yet. Gotta make some more money first. Trust me, I want to take a payout. Trust me. Alright, so coming right into the day, we have this strong, look, this candle right here, this one. Bingo. That huge wick right there, that's a reversal candle. It means that we're coming down to grab something down here, whether it's a level, whether it's a fair value gap, whether it's an order block like right here, and then we are bouncing off of it to come back up. So that gave me a good bullish bias for the day, even though we did have this SMT. And I think this SMT kind of did its job after we came down to here. So I wasn't too worried about it, but we had London lows as a draw, so I marked it out. Because that was a strong draw to the downside, so I marked it out just in case we flipped bearish. Here's that SMT that I was talking about. And then, if we go down to the 1 hour, we dumped all overnight down, and like I said, we made that really good rejection up, and this is that wick. On that 4 hour candle, this wick right here is all this action right here. And we displaced back up pretty good and inversed this huge leg that took out the liquidity right here and this gap. So now that we're coming back up and disrespecting bearish PD arrays, I'm thinking, alright, we're bullish, I'm looking for a long, but before I do that, what I did was I took out my Gone box, is what I used to find equilibrium, and I took it and I dragged it from the top of this range to the bottom that we were trading back into. So this is the halfway point right here that should be respected. If this halfway point gets pushed through, I know that we are bullish and we are going to push through the rest of the range, or at least up into an intermediate high, but we didn't really have any. And we pushed through it, we rejected out of it a little bit. You can't really see it right now. It wasn't too obvious. It's not really obvious unless you're watching it live. But I had this marked out right here. We had a 1 hour gap as well as this order block type deal that we respected. Very nice. And let's see what happened off of market open. I had this 1 hour gap marked out just in case we came down there and had some type of SMT action where we tapped it on one but not the other. Didn't happen. But anyways, market open, we ripped up out of this 15-minute gap, and this was actually a pretty good setup. There was SMT and everything. So if you took this trade, good for you. I don't know what gap you would have taken the inverse off of, but yeah, good rejection right up. But I did not take that. I waited. We had an SMT at the highs here. I wanted to see us flush down, and a lot of people got stopped out trying to take a long off of this 5-minute gap. The only reason I wasn't looking for longs, there's actually two reasons, is because of news and the fact that we formed an SMT when we came up to this point. There was news at 9:45. I wanted to wait for that. I had no interest in trading during that. And we formed an SMT. This right here, this high got taken on ES, but not on NQ. Believe. Yeah, right? No, it was this high. This high right here. And what is bundled up with all those highs? A 15-minute gap that's at the top with this order block type deal. And I just thought of it as generating liquidity for us to come back down. I just wanted to see us come back down. I didn't think we were going to come back down this much. I wanted to see us back down into this order block, and if we were going to come down to here, I was actually expecting us to hit the 1 hour because we got so close to it, but we didn't. And we inversed this 5-minute candle too. So at this point, I was a little confused. I was a little lost. Didn't really know what I was looking for at this point. But this SMT held. That means that NQ took out this low. But if we look on ES on the chart, this low was never taken. And it made equal lows right here. And this was also another reason why I was a little scared to long, because you don't want to long against equal lows or short against equal lows, because it's just a strong draw. Anyways, we see that we are heading back up, not respecting this 5-minute gap after the inverse. So I'm looking for this 5-minute gap to get inversed to show me that we're flipping back to bullish and that we're not being bearish. And what did I also do? Just like before, I took this range from top to bottom and made sure that we were going to respect the equilibrium of the range that we just had created from coming up. And we did do that. So then I've now identified where I think that it's turning around, which is right here, because we're respecting equilibrium. A point that can give me confirmation to enter. Not exactly confirmation, but more confidence, as well as a area to look for an entry. So what are we looking for now? An area to enter the trade. Because this isn't technically a continuation, because we have like all this mess right here. Even though we're rejecting really good out of this 15-minute gap, and there's 5-minute gaps and stuff that are being respected, this is technically kind of like a reversal, because we came down, took this low, and made a new buy model. You got to think of this as a sell model that was completed and then flipped into a buy model. So now we are looking for an obvious turnaround in order flow on the low time frame, which is up to here. We're obviously, after we inverse that 5-minute gap, it's obvious that we have flipped an order flow to bullish. And then we see a retrace back down. And what are we going to do again? See if equilibrium is respected. And it was. It looks like we dug into it a lot. And there's this gap here that we definitely needed to hit, as well as this and this. But these wicks show that we respected it and didn't close inside of it. So now that we're rejecting back up off of the retrace, what am I looking for? The highest time frame inverse on the current leg that we're on. So right here, this would be the 1-minute gap. The 1-minute gap right here. Now, my fill, I don't even remember where my fill was. It was somewhere in here. And my break even was right here. I got break even, like, I got to my break even point like right away, so that's a relief. And then after I got there, I was watching for SMTs. I remember I was looking and I was scared about getting an SMT because one of the indexes was lagging so much. Yeah, we got equal highs on ES, but this high was never taken. And we came down to here, And after we started coming down, I moved my stop up to $181 to secure the winning day. And I don't remember exactly where my stop was, but because of where price came down to, I think that I would have been safe because I entered off of the inverse after this candle closed and we started going down on this one. So I think I would have been safe. But yeah, that's something to think about. Where the inverse happens, if it's a BPR, in this case it wasn't, but you should always watch out for that because price wants to come back and hit it. And I would have just had your break even at least underneath this order block type thing. As you can see, it respected it pretty good. And so I made my money. Now I'm eligible to take a payout, which is awesome. And then we flush right up to my TP. And yeah, that's it. Alright, until the next trade.